Hello everyone and welcome to the UK MiniFigure Collectors YouTube channel, the only channel that focuses primarily on minifigures. So today I'd like to go vintage and I want to look at the ET line, which was produced in 1982 by LJN Toys. So I did actually pick up a carded version very recently, especially for this video. But you can see straight away that purple of the ET, the extraterrestrial, and the finger touch moment from the actual movie. But I do love this planet design. You know, it's so reminiscent of the actual ET line. But if you look closely at the actual figure, you can see some of the paint that's actually like spread onto the actual figure. It's something that seems to be actually quite present on quite a few of them, but I don't know if it's just a time present thing. On the back, it's just a hand-drawn design, and it shows two pictures of the actual larger figures. They're not the same size as these smaller ones, but it's nice to see something in the range. But what I'm going to do is pop up on screen a checklist that actually appears on the ET spaceship launcher. So what I'll do is I'll show you my least favourite one, which is this one. I just don't like the way his head's pointing to the right hand side and his arms are up in the air. But you can see the bright yellow finger where he's obviously healed Elliot, and he's holding a little red phone in the left hand. It just, for some reason, doesn't work for me. But you can see the date here, 1982 Universal Studios Pictures, and then obviously where it's made and whatnot. But I mean, sculpt wise, yes, it's okay. The detail on his face is pretty cool. Size wise, about the same sort of size, or a little bit bigger actually than a Muscles figure, and again a little bit bigger than the actual Monsters in My Pocket figure. I do love having something to sort of compare with. But yeah, moving on to the next figure. This one's in a sort of blue robe holding a little book, and I do like the actual design on the face on this one. It's just very reminiscent of the ET film, the way his head's always slightly lower than the back of his head. It just, like I say, something I picked up from quite a young lad. When he's reading the ABC book, if I remember right. But yeah, quite a cool little sculpt. Nothing special about it, but it's a nice sculpt. And this one's a little bit bigger than the last one, so just show a comparison with these figures again. And then we have this one where he's holding I believe it's a flower. Very strange though, they didn't paint the bit that's by his feet. Very sort of minimal sculpt, this one. Again, the face is almost exactly the same, but it's got these lovely bright blue eyes. But really cool. You can see, obviously I've got a little bit of plastic rot on mine, or PVC rot. But otherwise it's still quite a good figure. But yeah, you can just see the actual designs for the flowers there. And then we have this one, probably the most iconic sort of scene actually, where E.T.'s dressed up as a woman. It's a really cool sculpt on this. I don't know if you can actually see all the detail that's on this. You know, he's got a little bangle on. The way the hair, it just looks so perfect the way it's been done. You know, even the little tassels on the back of the actual sort of cardigan thing that he's wearing. But yeah, the only problem with this one is it does suffer from flashing. It does appear on a few of them, but mainly this sculpt for some reason. And then this one, this was actually the very first one that I got. It's not the original that I had, but it's obviously I've replaced it, but it's that Speak and Spell, one of my favourite toys when I was younger. But I love the way he's holding this cowl or blanket over his sort of head like a cowl. I think it's so cool. Really, really nice figure. And again, you can see that date on the back, 1982. But yeah, again, the lower part, there's not much to the sculpt, but the upper half, there's quite a lot to it. And then my favourite of the line, Hold My Beer pose. Now, for some reason they made the can look more like a bit of a glass. And I don't understand why they turned his head to one side. It would have been better for it just to be poking out the front. But I do love the detail that they put into this dressing gown. It's a really, really nice detail on it. And for some reason mine's got two number 4s on the base of his feet. But yeah, it's a really, really nice sculpt on this one. Just a shame the head's pointing the wrong way for me. But yeah, that's all 6 that were released upon release. But then I also found out later on they did a wave 2. So diving straight into what I believe is wave 2, I mean you can see straight away these don't seem to appear in the film. This one's really cool though, the detail around his face is really nice. But like I say, this weird scarf, it's actually sculpted really well, but a really small speak and spell, you know, slightly different to the one that's in the white blanket in wave 1. But I'll just see if I can get this date in here, and see if we can see the actual date. It's actually 1982, but this one seems to be holding a green umbrella, but I don't recall that. So the only thing I can think is maybe they're what could have been in the film, just to sell extra merchandise sort of thing. This one I believe must be around the sort of time of E.T.'s rescue. What with the red finger and the red chest, it just seems the perfect time to have sort of done this, but I don't recall a purple blanket. Again, these are very simple sort of sculpts, they're not overly detailed. I mean, there's more detail around the chest, under the head, around the neck, but it's just a nice design. They're really cool actually. Let's pop this one back. This one with a telephone, I mean it's so strange. I mean it's obviously going to be around when he's wandering around the house when Elliot's at school, but I don't recall him holding a yellow telephone at any point. The actual blue dressing gown is almost the same as the one from wave 1, but I believe it's a lighter blue colour. I will check that in a minute. But again, 1982, so it's definitely the right sort of time. It's a nice sculpt, nice detail on this one. Let's just grab the other one. Yeah, you can definitely see like a major difference in the colour here. But it's a really nice, cool sculpt. Let's put this on back. And this one with the doll, I believe it must be around when he's hiding in the closet, like with all the teddy bears and things. Maybe, like, you know, off screen it's his favourite teddy bear or something like that, or doll, sorry. But it's, again, a really nice little sculpt, nice and plain, not too much detail on it. And a date there, 1982 again. I love the little feet on these. Like, whoever came up with the concept of E.T. and the way his feet are, I think was a genius. Now this one's actually my favourite of the bunch, of these 6. You know, he's obviously got the blanket, so it's going to be around when he's getting dressed up to be the ghost. I just think it's a really cool sculpt. It's like he's chucking the blanket off, boo, sort of thing. The actual design of these is actually really cool. Like whoever did the sculpting for these really thought that they're sort of places of like where they should appear in the film and stuff. But they really are cool figures. I mean, I love the facial expressions. Each one sort of, or this one especially, sort of looks different. And on to the very last one. I'm not sure if it's a pillow or a bag he's holding it in his right hand, but he's holding again this flower on the left hand, and this really cool sort of black and white scarf. Let's see if I can see the date on this one. But yeah, I mean they're so well sculpted. I really do think these are nice figures. You know, it's obviously a merchandise hit in my opinion. You know, something that should have appeared in the film. And what we'll do is we'll get on with the show reel. So as a huge fan of ET as a child, this was one minifigure line that I knew I had to own again. Now I know it's cliche, but I remember the original 6 being released, or at the very least being released in the stores. I owned most of the release line until about the early 90s, so for me, finding out about 8 years ago that there was another 6 sculpts just completely blew my mind. All the research that I did at the time pointed to only having a US release. That's not to say that I'm right, of course, but personally I've never seen them outside the US being sold. Hopefully, someone might be able to provide some more information. I have seen them on identical cards as Wave 1, and also both waves being released as a 6-pack, but again, always in the US. Well, I guess that's it for today. Hopefully today's video has revealed something new for you as well. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, and I hope to catch you all again next time.